From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, the rain has moved back into the forecast and our temperatures are still feeling a little bit chilly. Temperatures are into the 50s area wide, as you can see, Quad Cam 50 in Lansing, Grand Ledge, Jackson, and even Hillsdale. Satellite radar showing those bands of some heavier rain moving across the area, and that's going to stick with us throughout the rest of the evening and even into the overnight hours. We'll still see that in the forecast for our Monday as well, with temperatures staying into the 40s and even into the 50s. All the full details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News at 6 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 6.
People are raising awareness for missing and murdered Indigenous people as they prepare for Red Dress Day. It's our top story at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rachel Ramsey. Tomorrow, May 5th, is Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women Day, also known as Red Dress Day. And people are bringing attention to violence that Native women and girls face throughout the country, including in Michigan. Taryn Simmons spoke to an Indigenous activist and is here for you now with how she's working on the front lines to protect Native people.
Each of these red dresses represents a missing or murdered Indigenous woman or person and how they're no longer connected to their community.
And red is the color in our teachings that is most recognizable by the spirit, those in the spirit realm who have walked on. And there's the awareness that we needed is that there's so much of a scourge in our communities of women and girls and people and other relatives who go missing.
Tribal citizen Nicole Kiwe Biber of the Little Traverse Bay Bands of Ottawa says she is focused on fighting for missing and murdered Indigenous women who she says have been wronged by corporations. She says oil companies play a big role in the loss of Indigenous people.
Often when there's pipelines going into communities or even work to expand them or move them, they come with something called man camps. And that puts women, Indigenous women in particular, in a very vulnerable space. There's not a lot of law enforcement looking out for our women. That's very much connected to those oil pipelines is why our people go missing.
Biber says companies employ out-of-town workers to work on projects in rural communities that are home to many Native people.
There's an encampment of Indigenous water protectors looking to stop that oil pipeline.
And adds there's a worry of sexual violence that comes with them.
They were found out that there was human trafficking that occurred with that, and then within a very small span of time there were breaches in the aquifer. People were taken and the water is damaged.
A study in the Northwestern University Law Review found these kinds of construction projects can make the problem of sexual violence in Indigenous communities drastically worse. According to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, cases of missing and murdered Indigenous women are underreported, underinvestigated, and remain unsolved. And that's why Biber says Red Dress Day brings awareness and remembrance to the countless Native women who go missing without a trace. Here for you in Okemos, Taryn Simmons, 6 News.
Thank you, Taryn. And the Michigan Department of State has provided almost 2,000 more documents to the State House Oversight Committee in the ongoing dispute over access to election training materials. For months now, the committee has been trying to get its hands on those training materials, which are provided to county clerks. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson's office has only been willing to provide some of those materials, arguing that they contain sensitive information about election security, which should not be made public. Republicans in the State House have not been satisfied with the redacted documents, saying they are, quote, frustrated. But even with the release of these new documents, the State Department has maintained those redactions, saying they are essential to the physical and cybersecurity of election systems and machines. The newly released documents have been posted online for anyone to view. We've shared a link to them in the Scene on 6 section of our website, WLNS.com. Turning now to national politics, President Donald Trump is defending his tariff plan despite its chaotic impact on Wall Street, saying even in a recession in the short term would be worth it for a long-term change. Christine Benavides has the latest on the administration.
In an interview on NBC's Meet the Press, President Trump said he did not know if it was his job to uphold the Constitution and wavered when asked whether every person on American soil was entitled to due process. The answers came in response to questions about the administration's handling of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man mistakenly deported to El Salvador in what Justice Department officials called a clerical error.
Your Secretary of State says everyone who's here, citizens and non-citizens, deserve due process. Do you agree, Mr. President?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
Well, the Fifth Amendment says.
I don't know. It seems it might say that, but if you're talking about that, then we'd have to have 1 million or 2 million or 3 million trials. We have thousands of people that are some murderers and some drug dealers and some of the worst people on earth. But some of the worst, most dangerous people on earth. And I was elected to get them the hell out of here, and the courts are holding me from doing it.
But even given those numbers that you're talking about, don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said.
For the first time, Trump ruled out the possibility of running for a third term, and he discussed possible military action in Greenland.
You are not ruling out military force to take Greenland.
I don't rule it out. I don't say I'm going to do it, but I don't rule out anything. No, not there. We need that. We need Greenland very badly.
The interview comes on the heels of continued backlash over an AI photo he posted on X showing himself dressed as the Pope. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
You may notice tonight the Granger Clock Tower at Lansing Community College will be lit up red. It's part of an annual observance honoring fallen firefighters. For more than 30 years, the National Fallen Firefighter Foundation has been sponsoring tributes across the country to honor all of the firefighters who lost their lives in the line of duty in the previous year. As part of that tribute, LCC is lighting up the Granger Clock Tower in red this weekend and lowering its flags to half-staff. In total, 70 firefighters died in the U.S. last year. As the summer gets warmer, anglers all over Michigan are excited to get back onto the lakes and start casting their lines. But the DNR is reminding people who go fishing at specific lakes up north to take care of the biggest resident of Michigan's waters. Those who go fishing in places like Manistee Lake, Muskegon Lake, Saginaw Bay, or even the Grand River could find a lake sturgeon on the other end of their line. As a reminder, sturgeon are protected in Michigan. You can't go fishing for them intentionally, and if you catch one by accident, you have to release it immediately. Never hold a sturgeon vertically by its head, gills, or tail because that can damage its organs. Handle the fish as little as possible and do not touch its eyes or gills. There is a special season for sturgeon fishing every year, but the catch limit is usually about half a dozen fish, so the season only lasts for a matter of hours or even minutes. And classic cars are another iconic part of summer in Michigan, and Ford is making it easier for people to enjoy some automotive history. Today, the company unveiled the Ford Heritage Fleet. It consists of iconic models, including concept cars and special projects from throughout Ford's history. It's all gathered in one place at the company's headquarters in Dearborn.
It's beautiful that they have all these unique cars, like the first ones and the last ones off the line. I think that's extremely unique because most of the time you don't see stuff like that, just regular car shows.
Almost 2,000 people attended the unveiling today. There are nearly 500 cars in the Ford Heritage Fleet, but so far only a fraction of them are on display.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We had a tale of two stories for the day today. We had some sunshine in the morning, then those clouds moved in, and now we're seeing those rain showers impacting the evening for tonight. Now, if you're like this Oriole in parts of Albion, you're going to continue to see those rain showers and even some raindrops as we continue into this evening. And if you would like to send in your picture and have it be possibly seen every night at 6 p.m., please send it in to our website, WLNS.com/share, and maybe your picture will be featured on our evening shows at 6 p.m. Overall, we've seen a little bit of some rainfall since midnight. We've seen we've seen about half an inch of rain in Jackson, about 3/100ths of an inch of rain in Hillsdale. It started raining there a little bit earlier than here in the Lansing and Grand Ledge area, so we're still picking up some accumulation here or there, but we're still going to continue to see more over the next couple of hours. Very soggy looking forecast outside behind our McLaren cam, and we're going to continue to see the raindrops on all of our cameras. As we can see, Lansing, we're into the 50s right now after a high of 57 and a low of 37 this morning. It was a little bit of a chilly start this morning if you were out there. I know I needed to turn on my heated seats this morning on my drive into work. We're looking at 57 degrees high in Grand Ledge and 49 degrees right now, so it's a cold rain as we head across the area. There's those raindrops into the Jackson cam, and we're looking at temperatures into the 50s right now, and still having those raindrops into the Hillsdale camera, 50 degrees, a low of 43 degrees for this morning. Overall, here's this rain band that is bringing some heavier rain across the area. This is all associated with this low pressure system directly to our south, and unfortunately this system isn't going to be moving anywhere thanks to this high pressure system. And this is what something we called an omega block. There's a low pressure system well off to our west, a high pressure system right in the middle, and this low pressure system that's giving us those rainy conditions. And typically if you're on either side of this omega system, that's where those rain showers are, and some pretty nice weather in the central part of the United States. Back here, we're seeing this system just going to continue to stay to our south over the next couple of days. In fact, we're going to continue to see this as we head into Tuesday and maybe even Wednesday before we could see some clearing and some sunshine and warm weather return to the forecast for the middle of the week. So the next couple of days will feature some rainy conditions as we head into the evening. Those heavier rain showers continue tonight and even into tomorrow morning. We could see maybe a little bit of some sunshine for tomorrow afternoon, but then as we head into the afternoon and evening, some pop-up storms and showers do continue as well, and that continues into Tuesday with some heavier rain showers again for Tuesday morning. Heading into tonight, temperatures do remain into the 40s with rain showers, so it's going to be a chilly night up ahead. Maybe add an extra blanket and close the windows for tonight. Then as we head into the day tomorrow, we'll continue to see those cloudy skies and occasional rain showers, temperatures remaining into the upper 50s to low 60s. So another chilly day is in the forecast with those scattered rain showers here or there. So again, just make sure you're keeping your umbrella with you as you head out the door. We're going to continue to see these showers until at least Tuesday, could see some linger into Wednesday. So expect some rainy and some wet conditions over the next couple of days. And as we head into the end of the week, those temperatures do warm up and we do see the 70s back in the forecast as we head into next weekend.
I'm excited for those 70s.
I am too. I mean, there is something about the rain today that was just kind
cozy.
It was cozy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that Karina and I like to call soup weather.
I love it.
Where we like to think that we're going to stay inside and just make soup or bake.
Exactly. Rainy weather is great when you just have to stay inside, but when you have things to do, it's the worst.
Yeah.
So it's a give and take.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for the update, Kelsey.